Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3, sponsored by X Services.
Good morning, Kansas, and happy Friday. We not only made it to the end of the work week, but we made it to the last day of the KSN summer road trip and kicking off day 5 right now with your...
This is Kansas Today on KSN News 3.
Good Friday morning, Kansas, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. I am Eddie Randall.
I'm Alexis Padilla.
And I'm meteorologist Ronell Williams.
As Ronell just mentioned it in that first forecast, it is day 5 of the KSN summer road trip. We are live at In Cahoots Coffee and Shop in Pratt. This is the second year in a row that we are at this coffee shop.
You were mentioning that, and you mentioned that you guys started off here last year, and now we're ending here.
Yeah.
Okay, and when it comes to being in cahoots, you know, I wasn't on the road trip last year, so this is my first time in here. And, you know, I always like to throw out there, we're just now getting started, so if there is anybody in the Pratt area, come out, you know, grab a cup of coffee and come out and say hi to the Kansas Today team.
Or you could be like Ronell and get some juice.
Yeah. And
spicing things up from your water.
Yeah, but I did ask Tiffany, who's right behind us, to if she could grab me a cup of water just to keep things a little bit normal on the last day.
Yeah, it's really exciting being able to revisit some of these places that, you know, the KSN summer road trip was at last year. I got the Betty's coffee last year, and Tiffany remembered that I bought some when I left and took it to my mom. My mom absolutely loves it. So I'm excited just to be drinking some more.
You might have to get a second bag.
I think I may.
It is the final day of the KSN summer road trip, so let's get back on now to Ronell Williams with our forecast. Ronell?
Yeah, thanks, Sammy. You know, we had some of those wild storms yesterday in western Kansas, and right now, completely dry out west, but we do have some of those lingering showers. There's even a couple of rumbles of thunder closer to portions of Greenwood County, possibly parts of Butler County as well. So any lingering rain out there, it looks like it's mainly to the south and east of the Wichita metro, so that means farther back out to the west, including Pratt. We are completely dry, and that's where we're going to kick off that forecast with our Pratt Sky View camera. You know,
and it all comes full circle because we were just chatting about the number of stops that we've made. What were you saying?
We are now at 19 of 22.
Okay, so therefore, if my voice sounds like it's cutting out, it might be a little bit deeper. Just go, if you don't know where we've been, just go to our website and you'll see all the places that we've been. And of course, we'll recap those, especially from yesterday here pretty soon.
Yeah. Last night we all had dinner together. Normally it's just, you know, the morning team and then the evening team does their own thing just because we were on 2 different shifts. But on the last day of the summer road trip, we all eat together, and Jeff Herndon was saying Monday seems like so far away because we've all been hitting so many different stops. But man, 19 stops and still 3 more to go. It has been such a fun week.
It really has.
It's been flying by, but like Jeff mentioned, it's going well. But let's recap what we did yesterday. So we wrapped up Kansas today at Patrick Dugan's Coffee House in Garden City and hit the road to Ulysses. Where did we go? To get more coffee, of course. The great people at Bear Creek Coffee welcomed us with applause as soon as we walked in, and fresh brewed coffee. The owners tell us they had no intention of opening a coffee shop, but they wanted to reinvest in the community and create a space where people can connect. Then we headed east to our next stop, Dodge City, and we got a glimpse of history. Jeff, Eddie, Julie, and I were live from Boot Hill Museum Variety Show Theater for KSN News at noon. It's the longest running variety show in the nation. Miss Kitty and the Can-Can Dancers put on quite the show.
They certainly did, Alexis, and Dodge City is filled with history. You all know this. The Gunfighters Wax Museum is just one of several spots. Inside the Teachers Hall of Fame building, the exhibits have each person in a famous scene from their lifetime. The characters are interactive and speak to you.
These wax figures include Bat Masterson and Doc Holliday and characters that were a part of the Gunsmoke show, as well as other gunfighters from the state of Kansas from the Wild West.
Presidents John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson visited Dodge City, and the museum has exhibits representing both of those presidents. Dozens met us here in Coldwater at Heritage Park with some tasty treats. The Blonde Grill made cookies with our faces and road trip logo on them. I love it. I took a picture of it, sent it to my mom. We also kept our sugar levels up with baked goods from Aussie Bakes. So good, delicious, owned by an Australian baker. Now, there's a couple in Coldwater working to open a unique Airbnb, and they hope to attract new people to the town. We're going to bring you that story coming up in our 6:30 half hour.
And before we knew it, the KSN road trip crew made it to our final stop of the day, Greensburg. A nice crowd met us at the Bigwell Museum. The museum is filled with history of the town, along with information on the 2007 EF5 tornado and how the community rebuilt. Jeff, Julie, and Lisa hosted KSN News at 5 and 6, right beside the 109-foot well. And one place you have to visit in Greensburg, the soda fountain. It's inside the Kiowa County Historical Museum. The original soda fountain started back in 1950. The deadly tornado destroyed the building. Officials decided to take what they could and make it part of the living history of the town.
It's really great to be able to have young kids come in and see some of the things that you know, we grew up around and our kids grew up around.
It's not just for show. The soda fountain offers ice cream, shakes, malts, and old-fashioned sodas.
And the Boot Hill Museum was your first time in Dodge City.
Yes. So I was really excited. I was looking forward to that stop all week because last year you guys Ronald was at the studio with me last year, but you guys had such a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got to see Miss Kitty and see the dancers and the performers. All of that was amazing.
But also you got to see the Variety Theater for the first time because that was a new location, even though the show's not new.
Yeah, that was a new location, and that was a lot of fun. Also, for the first time, the Greensburg Museum. I mean, so much rich history there. You got to see just videos of what so many people went through and getting to see that the town be rebuilt.
Yeah, and I mentioned before, not too long ago, I actually did a story out in Greensburg, so I've been there before. This wasn't my first time. I believe it was the mayor during that event who I spoke with, and still you hear the tornado sirens go off when they're testing them, and it's still kind of an eerie feeling there.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Yeah, we could talk about it all day, but we're gonna send it back to the studio, and we just have so much more in store for you guys, so make sure to stay with us on Kansas Today.
You're watching Kansas Today with Eddie, Alexis, and Ronell. Good morning.
Welcome back to Kansas Today. This is day 5, the final day of the KSN summer road trip, and we're here in Pratt at In Cahoots Coffee and Shop.
Yeah, this is the second time in a row that we have been at In Cahoots. We started our road trip 2022 here, and so it's only fitting that we end here at In Cahoots.
Talk about full circles. Sorry,
you know what? It's also a must that we say we made it to day 5. You know, it's been a long week, a long but also fulfilling week.
Very fun, and everyone warned me that the days are long, but it is very fun, and they were right. I've been knocking out.
Well, I'm glad that's for your first road trip. That's what kind of your conclusion, because it is a lot of work. It seems like we're not at the studio and that we're just like out having fun. It is fun. It is a lot of work, but it's good to be able to say, like, at the end of today, we'll be able to relax and see our friends and family. All right, we're going to get you guys to this next story on our final stop, which we were just talking about. It's actually going to be back at home in Wichita for the final stop of the KSN summer road trip. We're going to be in Old Town Square, and we have a request for those people coming out, a special request. We're asking you to bring some hygiene items.
Soap, shampoo, toothpaste, wipes. These are items that aren't covered by government assistance. KSN is teaming up with Giving the Basics Wichita for the Dignity Drive.
It's giving the dignity. Nobody wants to be the kid that people made fun of when they were little because they couldn't shower, or they didn't brush their hair, or they couldn't brush their teeth. To be, not remembered as that person, but to be remembered for themselves, the accomplishments that they have, what they do, what they bring to the community, and not for something that's sometimes out of their control.
Women's hygiene products and toilet paper are often most in need.
Bring the items to the Old Town Square by the Warren Theater from 3 until 6:30 tonight. And we'll also be live there.
Yeah, we're going to be live there on KSN News at 4. We're going to join Lisa, Julia, and Jeff, and then they'll finish the evening shows 5 and 6. You know, Ronell, you are our resident foodie, so I have to ask, over the last 5 days, is there a special food that you've tried that you just can't get out of your mind?
You know what was it? Was it Hoxie at the Elephant, right?
Elephant Bistro, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's probably one of the standouts. And then Ellenwood, little sausages. Gotta shout out the packing plant again. But it's a tie. I think it's a tie between those two. Of course, you know, all the food that we've eaten over the last few days, all the snacks, all the dessert items that we took part in, especially Coldwater yesterday. A lot of cookies. A huge thank you to all of you out there. Something else that we were doing yesterday, especially, was warning everybody. Hey, we're expecting some storms this evening. Please make sure that you're staying weather aware. It's sunny now, but it's going to be stormy later, and that's exactly what happened. A lot of those storms, though, clearing out. So starting off that forecast, though, with a quick look outside through our Dodge City sky view camera.
It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend for the most part for Father's Day. I have to bring some attention to the fact that you and I have talked about Elephant Bistro a lot. If the viewers notice that Alexis has a bit of a sigh every time we bring it up, she was out shooting a story, so she did not get to taste all of the good food.
And nobody packed me a plate.
I can't.
You guys knew I was gone.
We can't help but bring it up, though. It's like cemented in our brains.
It was really delicious.
I'm going to have to make a trip to Hoxie now.
Yeah.
But we are live here in Pratt for the final day of the KSN road trip. And Samantha has more local news on Kansas Today.
Well, let's get back out to Pratt with Ronell with your out the door forecast.
All right, thanks, Sammy. For anybody that's about to take that first step out the door, temperature-wise, pretty comfy out there. However, we still do have a few leftover showers from the storms that we had yesterday.
Yeah, it definitely was a situation where, you know, we were all out greeting people, and a lot of things that people were saying was, did you guys bring the storm with you? And, of course, I saw you and Lisa talking to a lot of people in Greensburg, just kind of letting them know that you guys are tracking the situation, and it all ended up being well.
Yeah, everything was good. It was so windy, though, in Greensburg, you know, just ahead of those storms. And I believe they were able to make it through their 6 p.m. news, but it started raining right then and there.
Back. All right. Well, we have plenty of 6:30 headlines for you coming up. We are live in Pratt. Stay with us. It is 6:28.
Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3, sponsored by X Services.
Good morning, Kansas, and happy Friday. I am giving you your forecast first live from Pratt this morning. We are kicking off day 5 of the KSN summer road trip. I have Eddie and Alexis next to me. We'll get to them in just a moment.
This is Kansas Today on KSN News 3.
Good morning, Kansas. It is Friday, which means you have made it to the end of the work week. Thank you so much for starting it with us. I'm Eddie Randall.
I'm Alexis Padilla.
And I'm meteorologist Ronell Williams.
We are live in Pratt at In Cahoots Coffee and Shop. The second time that we've been here on the road trip. I was just talking to the owner, Tiffany, got a refill of my coffee, and she said that she got hers right before mine. So I'm gaining up on her on the caffeine.
I need to catch up with you. I'm still on my first one. But it is delicious, so I'm enjoying it, soaking it in.
Glad you guys have your caffeine because we have another long day ahead. I'm switching things up a little bit. I do have orange juice, but I also have my water right here. And Eddie, Alexis, did I tell you guys what happened yesterday in Coldwater?
What happened?
Yeah, they made me the official representative of the official drink of Coldwater.
And what is the official drink?
Water.
Exactly. But cold water.
My manager, if he's watching right now, he's going to expect a cut of my paycheck just for mentioning that. So I'll make sure I get that to him.
Right.
And there were so many goodies there, and we will recap all of that.
Each year, KSN works to give back to our communities as part of Next Star's Founders Day of Caring. It's a day our parent company encourages us to get out of the office and volunteer. This year, we're asking you to help with one of our projects, Giving the Basics, collects hygiene items and works with local schools and charities to get them to those in need. So today, from 1 until 4, you can stop by KSN. We're located at 8th and Main in Wichita. We'll have team members waiting outside the office to fill barrels with those needed toiletry items.
We believe that having access to these things provides dignity, better health, opportunity. None of the products that we provide are covered by government assistance, and so we are happy to supply local schools, pantries, shelters, and other nonprofits with hygiene products.
You can also bring those items to Old Town Square from 3 until 6:30 and meet up with the KSN team on the KSN Summer Road Trip. That's our last stop. Take a look at the items there on our screen, and you can pick up something on your way downtown. And as I mentioned, it is the final day of the KSN Summer Road Trip. We're starting the day out in Pratt, where we find KSN's Ronell Williams with your Storm Track 3 forecast. Ronell?
Yeah, that's right, Sammy. Thanks. As expected, we did have those storms out west yesterday. We were able to beat them, but only all the way up until our 6 o'clock news. That's when it started to rain, and after that, the thunder came. Getting some beneficial rainfall, but we did have some severe weather yesterday. Like always, though, we made it through the night, but we will have to make sure that we continue to stay weather aware at least over the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and get into that forecast, starting off with a look at our downtown Wichita sky view camera.
And it was raining when we went to dinner last night, and I remember right before we left, it was coming down even more, and Ronell said, "Be careful, it's raining." And I said, "It's raining?" He said, "Don't you ever listen to what I'm saying?" I'm going to listen today.
Yeah, and we all need to make sure that we continue to try to stay dry out there. Happy for the rainfall, but we just don't need any more severe weather. That's the main thing.
All right, and it is Friday, day 5 of the KSN Summer Road Trip. Let's talk about what happened on day 4. Of course, we last left you guys when we were in Garden City on Thursday. After leaving Garden City and finishing Kansas Today Live, we headed over to Ulysses. Bear Creek Coffee brought out the crowd, and let me tell you guys, they are faithful Kansas Today and KSN viewers. The owners didn't intend to open a coffee shop, but wanted to reinvest in the community and create a place for the people of Ulysses. Dodge City, the second stop of the day, and the second year in a row that we were headed there for the summer road trip. Alexis, Jeff, Julia, and I were live for KSN News at noon from the Boot Hill Museum Variety Show Theater. It is the longest running variety show in our nation. The museum showcases thousands of artifacts from the Old West, including over 200 original guns.
Our third stop of the day was Coldwater, Kansas. It's always nice to be greeted with baked goods. The Blonde Grill made cookies with our faces on them and the Summer Road Trip logo. We also had baked goodies from Aussie Bakes, owned by an Australian baker. And one cool place you have to visit in Southwest Kansas, the M.T. Liggett Art Environment. It is a massive collection of handmade metal sculptures just outside of Mullinville. The man behind it all, M.T. Liggett, he worked for decades building all the pieces made out of salvaged pieces of farm equipment. He passed away in 2017. Some of his favorites focus on politics.
Anybody that was a politician was fair game, and it didn't matter what party, what their viewpoint was. You can see just a lot of his ideas and opinions reflected out there about, and I would love to know what he thought about politics today.
The displays in Visitor Center are free for you to get in.
And our final stop of day 4, Greensburg at the Big Whale Museum. We got to meet people born and raised in Greensburg, as well as neighboring communities. Jeff, Julia, and Lisa live for KSN News at 5 and 6 on Thursday. Greensburg survived a tragedy. May 4th, 2007, the nation's first EF5 tornado destroyed 95% of the city. In minutes, more than 1,400 homes and businesses gone. The people of Greensburg worked tirelessly to breathe life back into the community.
It's taken 16 years to get to where we are today, and we're not done. We continue to move forward and work on new projects. It's not a couple years and you're done. We just continue to move forward.
The Kiowa County Museum collected a lot of the history of Greensburg, including the old soda fountain that stood on Main Street for decades. So much history. We walked around. You were outside with Lisa, Ronell, and inside Alexis and I actually went down to the well. We walked around upstairs and saw everything, and then we threw a penny into the well.
Yeah, Eddie's made it. Mine did not make it, but it's okay. Just another reason to go back and visit. But aside from all the cool artifacts and the history, talking to the people and hearing their history, I talked with a man and woman, and Jeff was there too. We got to hear, he pointed out where his house was on the map, and just hearing those stories, but also the hope and recovery that they've seen throughout the last
Yeah, and you mentioned we could. I mean, we could really talk about that just all day long. That's actually something that I talk about when I go to schools and talk to kids, especially with it happening at night and during the evening when tornadoes are the most dangerous. So, yeah, glad they were able to rebuild so quickly. And, yeah, it looks like they're doing very, very well. And that won't be the last time that we're there.
And we have more on day 5 of the KSN summer road trip. Still to come, the story of a couple bringing a new business to a small Kansas town and getting family and community in return. We'll be right back.
You're watching Kansas Today with Eddie, Alexis, and Ronell. Good morning.
Welcome back to Kansas Today. We are live for day 5 of the KSN summer road trip here in Pratt at Coots Coffee and Shop. And this next story, a couple that recently moved to Kansas is literally and physically taking something old and transforming it into something new.
Yeah, they hope to attract more people to the small town. Photojournalist Kevin Steebrel and I take you to Coldwater, a town with a rich in history and a thriving community. 2 hours southwest of Wichita sits the town of Coldwater, known for its lake and home to about 800 people.
It's a gem.
Its 139-year history is about to embark on a new era.
We wanted to move to the Midwest and have like a central location where we could just kind of travel, and we wanted to buy an unconventional building that we could restore.
So there'll be 2 beds.
Lisa Sowers and her partner,
Big cupboard with a TV inside of it.
My husband is a serious carpenter, construction person,
are turning this old building into a luxurious Airbnb.
It's called the Squirrel Inn because I'm super squirrely. I have to be doing stuff. We live upstairs.
They took on a similar task a few years back.
So the Squirrel Inn is kind of based off the same concept of like open living. We started researching online and we stumbled onto Coldwater, Kansas.
A needle in a haystack find.
We'd never been to the Midwest, and so we were heading to Las Vegas to watch Gonzaga play in the tournament. And he's like, yeah, let's just drive a little bit farther. A
realtor helped secure the building.
That's the old library.
The people sealed the deal.
Pulled up and they were having, a food truck with barbecue, and people were just kind of like waving at us when we came to town, and we're like, people are so friendly. Like, this is wild, like waving back at people. And
that's the whole theme of the room, is mostly Gonzaga.
A place for old books is telling a new, unique story.
We have restored it into very quirky, very fun, but very vintage. We've lofted it upstairs, and then downstairs I've made my art studio. And
they're no longer visitors.
We stumbled onto an amazing building, but we really stumbled onto an amazing community.
Finding big love in a small town.
This one young boy came up to us and he said, "Hi, my name's Boyd. Are you guys good people?" And my husband looked at me and goes, "Yes, we are good people." And he said, "Okay, can I help you?" And so he helped us unload our U-Haul, and it was just like we looked at each other and it's like, we are in the right place.
Coldwater, once just a map dot.
Thank you. See you.
Now a place called home. And of course, we were in Coldwater on Thursday, one of our stops on the KSN summer road trip. I got the chance to talk to Lisa outside. She says their plan is to open up the Airbnb on schedule either at the end of August or during Labor Day weekend. So she's really bringing something new to the community.
Yeah, and only going to be a success. I'm willing to put some money on that.
Yeah. Easily. And you and Kevin just did a fantastic job with that. Excited to see how well they succeed.
Thank you. One thing I want to point out that Lisa made sure that she wanted to be known is she said that they came to this community and they didn't want to change the community. What they wanted to do was just to invest in the community and become part of the community, and they definitely have done that.
I'm sure they've been welcomed so much, just like we were yesterday. And we are live in Pratt, again, day 5 of the summer road trip. We're going to send it back to the studios after the break where Samantha has some great ideas for what to do this weekend. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and get into the forecast now. It's only right because we're in Pratt. It's okay, Alexis. You know what? We're on day 5. If you don't know where we've been, go ahead and go to our website and check out all the places that we've been. We've also been posting a lot of pictures, videos to social media as well, so you can see that stuff there. We're going to go ahead and start with our Pratt Skyview camera. Welcome back, everybody. For anybody about to head out the door this morning, it does look like we have a few leftover showers to the southeast. Dry elsewhere, completely dry by midday. Back into the 80s this afternoon with another storm chance later today off to the west. Now it's time to give away another KSN Kansas Today mug, and today's winner is Vernon Wheeler. Congratulations, Vernon.
Congratulations to Vernon for that KSN mug winner, and day 5 of the KSN summer road trip, and we are wrapping as far as what we do for the morning show. We have a few more stops to get to, but it has been quite the week.
Heading to number 20 next.
There we go, there we go. So let's chat about that. We have a lot ahead.
Yes, we do. So let's go over the final stops for the final day of the KSN summer road trip. Once we pack up from Pratt, we're going to head over to Stafford. We will be at the County Museum from 9 to 10, so come out and say hi.
And then the crew is going to hit the road and go east to Newton. We will be live for KSN News at noon in downtown Newton at 6th and Main, and we would love to see a huge crowd this afternoon.
Then we head back to Wichita to wrap up the 2023 KSN summer road trip. Eddie and myself joining Julia, Jeff, and Lisa for KSN News at 4, and then they take over for KSN News at 5 and 6, live from Old Town Square, so please come and help us celebrate.
All right, yeah, a huge thank you to everybody who's come out and seen us. And since Tuesday morning, a huge thank you to a lot of the coffee shops that have opened up early, especially here in Cahoots. A big thank you to Tiffany.
It has been so special to see how many people are actually early birds, too. I was surprised with how many say they're 4:30.
All right, today's show is next. Go make it a great day.
Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3, sponsored by X Services.
Good afternoon. It is day 5, the final day of the KSN summer road trip, and welcome to Newton. We love coming back to Newton because we get to see several familiar faces that we get to see time and time again, and we do have a crowd that is behind us here. We're in the downtown area. Come on out over the lunch hour and say hello. Plus, it is a beautiful day across the Sunflower State. Our downtown Wichita Skyview camera. We'll discuss that live from Newton as the KSN summer road trip continues. Your news starts now.
This is KSN News 3 at noon.
Well, the work week is almost over and the KSN summer road trip is nearing its end. After 5 days and more than 1,000 miles on the road, our team is making its last couple of stops before coming home. Jeff Herndon, Julia Thatcher, Eddie Randall, Alexis Padilla. They are live from the home of the Railroaders, downtown Newton.
Welcome to Newton, 6th and Main, the place to be. Jason, you mentioned 5 days over 1,000 miles. It feels like we just started.
It's all a blur. You're trying to backtrack. There's going to be a test at our 6 o'clock live shot. You got to name all the towns backwards.
I will not be participating in that test.
Eddie had a hard time remembering the day of spots.
That's right, that's right.
We've had quite a day so far, guys.
Yeah, we started off bright and early. Ronell, Alexis, and myself, of course, woke up early to broadcast Kansas Today from In Cahoots Coffee and Shop in Pratt, Kansas. It's the second year in a row that we were at In Cahoots. And then once the rest of the group got up, we headed north to Stafford, stopping at the Stafford County Museum. We actually got the chance to talk to one man who has lived in the town for 87 years.
I guess we liked it or we didn't make enough money to get out, one or the other. And I've migrated 7.5 miles into town, and my wife migrated 9 blocks. So we've been here all our lives.
Something new happening in Stafford. American Legion Riders Post 131 is hosting a memorial car show June 24th. It's also dedicating a Veterans Memorial that same day.
That'll be really cool to go out and see another preview from our road trip.
Now, your Storm Track 3 weather rate forecast.
Welcome back. We are live in Newton. This is the final day of the KSN summer road trip. We started in Wichita on Monday. We've made our rounds all around the Kansas area, and after Newton, we're going to be heading back to the Wichita area. It has been wonderful learning about your communities, and moments ago, Andrea pointed out this mural here, just to the west of the Newton area. They are building some wetlands, and they actually put out a call for different artwork because this artwork is actually going to be displayed at that wetlands after it is complete. But how cool is this? These are different birds that are actually endangered, or they are put on a certain list that they are threatened across the Kansas area. So once that is complete in the Newton area, please come on out and check it out. Today, it is a beautiful day, but if we go back a few years to 2015, it was not a Good Friday. And meteorologist Ronell Williams is here to explain that.
Yeah, that's right. Good Friday back in April of 15. We had a storm here that was very strong. It produced winds that were more than 80 miles an hour. A large part of the library's roof was actually blown off. There were even building collapses. Of course, plenty of downed trees and power lines. So, Lisa, I say all that to say to everybody, you don't need to have a tornado to have major structural damage to a city or to a town. It could just be from those damaging straight line winds.
That's why whenever we talk about a chance for severe weather, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, we always need to make sure that we are being weather aware. Ronell, thank you so much. And it's been so great having you on this road trip this week. He's been my travel buddy. We've been cruising around the entire Kansas area in Storm Tracker 3. It's a comfortable ride. We're going to be down here in Newton for a little bit longer, so come on down into the downtown area and say hello to both of us, because we would love to see you. Stay, don't go anywhere. We have a whole lot more coming up as we conclude the KSN Summer Road Trip live from Newton. We're back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to KSN News at Noon. We are live for day 5, the final day of the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. I think we're on stop 21 live in Newton on downtown Main and 6th Street. Feeling really good out here.
Yeah, you know, what can you say about this Main Street in Newton? It is beautiful. Now, keep in mind, downtown Newton has changed quite a bit over the past several years. Last year, it joined the Kansas Main Street program. That's a program through the Commerce Department aimed at revitalizing and preserving city cores.
We have a lot of great occupancy rate with our downtown buildings right now. And again, like I said, it's a mix. So you've got some businesses, you've got some services, and you've got restaurants. So you can get a lot of things accomplished just by being in the downtown.
Well, Newton is always working on improving the downtown. This year's goal, raise money to replace holiday decorations and new wireless sound system that can be heard for at least 3 blocks. That's booming.
That's what my neighbors would say,
right?
That's booming. All right, this one's a bit of a funny story. If you've ever driven on US 40 between Dodge City and Greensburg, chances are you saw this weird and wacky art on the side of the road. They're pieces created by M.T. Liggett, each one telling their own story.
Some of his pieces are politically charged. Some of them are whimsical, as you said. Some of them are pieces that he made for people that he cared about.
All right, this is the funny part. Liggett created sculptures for each of his 6 wives. They have various names and stories, so people can use their own imagination to decide how those relationships went. You can view this art in Mullinville any time of the day, but the visitor center is open from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
That's going to convince a lot of people to go out there for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this afternoon we'll finish up our road trip in Wichita, but when you come down to see us, we're asking you to bring something with you. A donation of hygiene products. We've teamed up with Giving the Basics for a Dignity Drive, providing items not covered by government assistance.
It's giving the dignity. Nobody wants to be the kid that people made fun of when they were little because they couldn't shower, or they didn't brush their hair, or they couldn't brush their teeth.
Here's what we're looking for: bar soap, deodorant, toilet paper, tampons, toothpaste. Just come on out to Old Town Square from 3 until 6:30 tonight.
Now, if you do come out, take a selfie with us. You can always crop me out later. But before you do that, keep the selfie, because it's your last chance to win a road trip prize pack from Shields. I mean, it's an awesome prize pack. $50 Shields gift card, $100 gas card, a cooler, tumbler, snacks. It is everything you need when you hit the road, just like us. Just snap a pic and submit it on our website to enter this contest. I don't know how many pictures we've taken this week, but quite a few. And for me anyway, at least in the maybe 8 or 9.
We have captured so many memories. Do you guys have a favorite moment from road trip?
Oh, where do you start? I mean, honestly, where do you
Marion.
begin?
That was our first stop.
It is it's been an invaluable education for me to hear the stories and to communicate with these communities, and thank all of them for welcoming us into their towns.
What's been great has been being able to have the second road trip for me and get to see some of these places twice. I know Alexis is going to get upset because I say Hoxie is my favorite because of the Elephant Bistro. She had to go shoot a story, so she didn't get that good food, but it was good.
And you didn't pack me a plate. I will never forget that. It's fine. But meeting the people, I've been able to, this is my first road trip, so it's one I'll for sure remember, and I'm still trying to process it all, but really special each community we saw.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts was that we had a lot of friends from last year come out and say hello, and I really feel like that's how it is. You get to meet so many people, and when we go home at night, when we start the 6 o'clock news, I think about that. I think about people who we've met who are they're a part of our day too, and I think that's really special. The second favorite part, and I'm taking 2, is I got to learn a lot about Jeff, my new partner on road trip. I think he wants a new partner now.
I think we've learned a lot about all of each other. Hey, here's the deal, though, guys. We are not done with this road trip yet. I don't want to talk about it like it's over. We got a lot more coming up, and we'll be talking about it very soon. We'll be right back.
Thank you, John, and let's finish up this show live in downtown Newton with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Craig, we have just a few more minutes here in the Newton area. Still plenty of time to come on down and say hello to us because we are getting ready to conclude the KSN summer road trip in Wichita. It's the first time that we have been in the Wichita area, and we will be at Old Town for the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock broadcasts. Taking a look at our lows tonight, we'll be in the 50s and the 60s, and tonight we'll see you in Wichita at 4.
Your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, sponsored by X Services.
Good afternoon. The KSN summer road trip coming to a conclusion here in the Wichita area. We are in Old Town outside of the Warren Theater. I hope you're having a great day. It has been a beautiful one all across the Sunflower State, a little on the warm side. Look at the crew that has come out to join us this afternoon here in the Old Town area. And we do have a couple of budding future meteorologists with us in the mix. They're definitely looking forward to checking out Storm Tracker 3 and asking a few more weather questions. Come on down this evening into the Old Town area. We would love to meet you. Let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast.
Well, after 5 days of traveling, the KSN summer road trip crew is back here in Wichita. Jeff Herndon, Julia Thatcher, Eddie Randall, and Alexis Padilla all live in Old Town. And guys, you're there taking donations for a good cause.
Yeah, we are back here in Wichita, but we are not done yet. We are live in Old Town for our last and final stop of our Shields KSN summer road trip.
And it's going to be a good one. You know, this is the 4th time that we've made this journey across the great state of Kansas, but this is the first time that we've ever ended or even stopped in Wichita.
And we're actually going to be out here for another 2 hours, so feel free to come out and stop by and say hi and donate to our Dignity Drive. We are collecting toiletries. We're talking about things like soap, toothpaste, and deodorant, as well as laundry detergent and toilet paper for Giving the Basics. It works with local schools and other nonprofits to provide health items not covered by government assistance. So we're collecting, we have barrels out here in Old Town that we're pointing at right here. We also have a few that are behind us, and these are where you can come and bring those items. And this is where you come in. We need your help filling these barrels up.
Yeah, we've made it easy for anybody to come up on their way home from work, or even maybe before you go out and have a bite to eat here in Old Town to go help and drop off some of those items. So let's take a look now at where we were on the final day of the big KSN road trip today. Our first stop this morning, Stafford, the town of 1,000, the second largest in the county. And like many Kansas counties, its economy thrives on ag and oil. Now, just outside of Stafford, Quivira National Wildlife Refuge with more than 22,000 acres. It is the largest inland salt marsh in the country. It is a must-see for nature lovers, photographers, or really anyone that just wants to get outside and enjoy some peace and quiet.
Our second stop of the day and second to last stop on the road trip, Newton. We broadcast our news at noon live from downtown. The city was incorporated in 1872. That's a year after a Santa Fe depot was built. Newton celebrated its 150th birthday last year.
And now let's take a look at a couple of stories that we grabbed along the way but did not have time to air. Dodge City, nicknamed Queen of the Cowtowns, known for its Wild West ways. And you can see the likes of Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and Calamity Jane inside the Gunfighters Wax Museum.
I know we've gone to famous museums like Madame Tussauds. This is nothing of that size. And our characters were collected by Mr. Yost from a character who was traveling through Dodge City and needed some money and sold the figures to Mr. Yost.
The museum includes more than just gunfighters. It also has two presidents. We're talking about Lyndon B. Johnson and John F. Kennedy because they both visited Dodge City.
And if you head east out of Dodge City, you will come across this weird and wacky art on the side of the road in Molinville. They're pieces created by M.T. Liggett. Nothing stopped him from his craft.
It could be the middle of winter, and it was not a heated or enclosed, completely enclosed building. So it would be cold, and he would have an old fire stove just burning in there. Or I've driven by years ago, and it was 103 outside, and he was standing in there working in the shops.
You can see Liggett's pieces on the road any time of day, but a visitor center just opened, giving you more insight into Liggett's life. It's open 10 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday.
And guys, that's what I love about the road trip is it's so many cool things to do, so many places to see, but also the history that we got to learn along the way.
Yeah, it was fun to go with Jeff. He pointed out a lot of, he's a history buff, but also his own childhood memories, and that was really cool. But he gave us, I know what you were talking about, some of the art. He said you got to go back and you got to do some research on him because it's just a really cool story.
I get nervous every time she says my name in these live shots. But really, you're right. It's an education in this great state of Kansas, and what can you say? It's been a tremendous trip so far.
Yeah.
Not done yet, though.
He tells me stick to the script.
Now your Storm Track 3 weather rate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Welcome back. Kansas is filled with great people of all ages. It was definitely a journey, starting off on Monday from Wichita, going up to the north central, northwestern, and southwestern parts of the state. Temperatures have been comfortable. It's been delightful, but now temperatures are starting to warm up. It's certainly feeling like summertime, and we saw so many kids on the KSN summer road trip, and we still have more that are coming down out to the Old Town area to see Storm Tracker 3 and talk a little bit about weather. And what's your name?
Callan Stroud.
Tell me a little bit about why you love weather so much and why you want to take my job one day.
I like weather and I love rain, and I just want to be a weather person someday because I think it'd be kind of cool to storm chase a tornado.
Oh, so you want to do the storm chasing part of it. You know, forecasting is also a lot of fun because you're trying to look at what the atmosphere is going to do from one day to the next. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Yeah, very much.
So you need to study a lot of science, study a lot of mathematics. You good at that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. You'll be my retirement plan. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast. Can you give me a little bit about what the sky is doing right now?
A little bit clear skies.
Clear skies. Have a little bit of cloud cover, which we can see from our downtown sky view camera. Can you tell everybody we'll be right back?
We'll be right back.
There you go.
Welcome back. We are live at the final stop of the big KSN summer road trip, and it has been one heck of a trip.
It absolutely has, and you know, we thought it was only fitting to end here in Wichita and give back to our wonderful community and our wonderful state, and so we're doing that with a donation drive, and we are partnering with Giving the Basics this year. We call it a Dignity Drive, and we're asking you to come down here and help us to fill up these barrels, and it's cool because it serves a huge part of our community.
It does, and we are joined now by Megan Keiss. She is the Executive Director of Giving the Basics Wichita. Megan, thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me. We're super excited. Thank you.
Well, if you could just start out, tell us about the organization, and then explain the need if you can.
Okay, sure. So we are a local nonprofit here in Wichita, and we are just doing our very best to make sure all of these hygiene items, basic hygiene items, get into the hands of any individual, any family in need in Wichita. We believe that these items are important for dignity, for better health, for opportunity, for our kiddos going to school, for somebody applying for a job. So the way that we get these products out is we currently partner with 158 local schools and 51 nonprofits, so including shelters, pantries, other 501c3s here in Wichita. We've really tried to spread ourselves throughout the city, so no matter where you are in our city, no matter what your circumstances, that you have these items and access to them for free.
And what would you say is the biggest need? There's a lot of items listed on these barrels, but what's the biggest need that you see?
So right now we always need toilet paper. That's for sure one of our biggest needs. We also always need deodorant. Right now we're a little bit low on bar soap and lotion and tampons as well. But for sure the top two I'd say are deodorant and toilet paper.
So you mentioned this a little earlier, but how do you get these donations into the hands of the people who need them?
Sure. So we are really lucky. We partner with some amazing school nurses, social workers, counselors, school administrators. We also partner with 51 local nonprofits. So they order from us once a month, and they come to our warehouse and pick up the items for their order, and then they're able to take those items and give them out to the people that they're serving.
A really cool thing, when I had interviewed you guys for our Here For You Spotlight franchise, there were so many nonprofits. Before I had talked to you guys, they said we partner with Getting the Basics, or we really rely on them, and now so many after. So it's been really cool to see just the footprint that you guys have. And you talk about dignity. What is it like for people who need these items to get them?
I just think, we hear stories after story from our school nurses, from our community partners, and I think what we just always hear over and over again is the immediate impact a toothbrush, a bar of soap, laundry detergent, a roll of toilet paper can have on somebody's life. And I think, for people going without those basic items, you really need to have those, to have dignity and to have opportunity, and for kids to go to school and feel confident and not get bullied. That's what we're trying to do.
We have a few more hours to try to fill some of these barrels up here in Old Town Square in Wichita.
And a reminder of some of the items that we are asking for: shampoo, tampons, toilet paper, toothbrushes, deodorant, toilet paper again, and we said deodorant as well. So those were some of the big needs that they are asking for. And we'll be out here for a little while, so definitely come out here.
Yeah, until 6:30. We'll be around. We'll be right back.
Our KSN crew is back home from its summer road trip, and we're looking back at some of our favorite stories from the road. KSN's Jason Lamb joining us live in Old Town Square with the rest of the team, and he has the story of a unique home we visited in Lane County. Jason?
Well, Vance and Louise Emke live outside of Dighton. They felt so at home with all the grain bins around their homestead that they decided to convert one of them into a home and office.
Well, the Emke family homesteaded here in Lane County back in 1885. Lane County was formed in 1886. We've been here ever since then, and over the past 20 or 30 years, we grew from a traditional farm into a seed business.
Well, it just said we were in the grain business, and that's what we are. We're seed business of the grain. We're in the grain business. It made a statement, and it evolved, and it just worked out really well.
Yeah, this is a real live grain bin, and like Louise is saying there, it says we are in the grain business.
25,000 bushel bin.
And we had this built, it was over 20 years ago, and we've had thousands of people come here either as seed customers or to see the scale house and office. It's kind of like you've got to wear good clothes all the time because you never know who's going to show up. It was mainly out of desperation. There's a fine line between creativity and desperation. Like, we needed a scale house, and so we thought, well, let's just build a grain bin.
It's well insulated, it's air conditioned, heat and air conditioned.
It's truly a grain bin. It's 42 feet in diameter. Sidewalls are 18 feet high. The center of the bin is 31 feet high. This particular bin without a pit would hold like 25 semi-loads of corn or wheat, 25,000 bushels.
We have multiple different kinds of walls, but the main wall we have in there is a signature wall. And you come visit us, you get to sign the wall. So people come back and find their signature, or they hunt around until they find it and date it again.
Yeah, we've had 2 Kansas governors come out here to visit and to sign the wall.
Those governors, Governor Kathleen Sebelius and Governor Laura Kelly. Now, the main level of the home has a modern kitchen, a little living room area, a bathroom, a utility room, and the office. And if you go upstairs, there's 2 bedrooms and another bath. And for the front door, it has a double-doored foyer to help keep the dust out. Pretty good idea. Hannah, back to you.
Good evening. It is a shades and sunscreen kind of an evening. We have a little bit of a breeze, and when that breeze starts to move through, it certainly feels pretty good because temperatures have warmed up today. We are live in Old Town, and we are looking forward to meeting you. This is the last stop on the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. Taking a look outside on the northeast side of Wichita. The clouds, you're not seeing too many of those. Western Kansas later tonight. We'll take you through those hour by hour and what those storms could bring in your full Storm Track 3 forecast. Hannah.
Now your Storm Track 3 weather rate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Welcome back. We are live from Old Town. Just a little bit of cloud cover. It has been a hot day. That's because we've been into the more central portions of the state. Out to the west, temperatures have definitely been a little bit cooler, but that's also we're anticipating for some thunderstorms to move in. Those of you that are going to be in the downtown area or want to come out and visit the KSN crew, this is the place to be outside of the Warren Theater. But also, please bring some donations and help out your fellow friends here. Giving the Basics, bring some bars of soap, maybe some toothpaste, and that is definitely going to help out other folks here within our community. Let's go ahead and get to that weather. We are out here live in the Old Town area of Wichita. Come on down and see us. Storm Tracker 3 is here. We've talked to several of the future meteorologists, plus guess who I have here? I have Alexis and I also have Eddie joining me. It has been such a great road trip with you all. Alexis, having you around with Eddie, and of course Eddie always keeps us in stitches.
Well, I try.
You do. That smile. He has never stopped smiling since the time we left Wichita on Monday.
Well, it's been fun. The road trip is fun. My second road trip, and like I got to know you even more this time. We had a lot of fun.
We really did. And of course, getting together for dinner last night over in Pratt.
It was really nice being able to join the evening side for that. But everyone told me the people are fantastic on this trip, meeting them at every single stop. And Lisa, you did more than just shaking hands.
It's not just it's just not the adults, it's also the little kids, but it's also the four-legged friends too. And just about every single stop that we had somebody that was bringing a pup over. There was one over in Greensburg by the name of Willow, just the sweetest dog, and came up and I had to look down at my shirt because they drew chalk outside of the big well and came up on me, and next thing you know I have these massive paw prints, but I'm like, oh, that's just doggy glitter in my eyes. And then there was another cute little dog, Chico, but I also had a lot of Chihuahuas on this trip. And if you're a Chihuahua fan, if you have Chihuahuas, you know that they can be one side of the spectrum or another, but they were all sweethearts.
Well, KSN Summer Road Trip 2022, people would tell me that they brought their dog to you, and then I was kind of taken aback, but now I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
It's a thing. It is a thing. Well, it's been a great journey. We have much, much more coming up from the KSN Summer Road Trip here in Wichita. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to our KSN Shield Summer Road Trip. We are live in Old Town on our last stop of the trip, and we feel so honored to have met so many wonderful people.
So it's just fitting that we're getting an opportunity this evening to give back to the community. We're hosting a Dignity Drive, and we are collecting hygiene and toiletry items.
It is part of our parent company's Next Star Founders Day of Caring. It's a chance to take some time away from the office and just volunteer.
And you can help us out by coming down to Old Town Square and helping us fill these barrels. You can bring toilet paper or bar soap, toothpaste, or laundry detergent.
Yeah, and this morning, KSN crews back in Wichita gave back by working with Catholic Charities. They did some landscaping and outdoor cleanup at St. Anthony Family Shelter. The organization provides emergency housing for families who are facing homelessness, helping to set them up with resources, daycare, and employment to help families get back into the community.
Yeah, the crew also spent some time at Adult Day Services, a program by Catholic Charities that aims to give activities and socialization to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our team used some elbow grease, cleaning the buses that take clients to places like the bowling alley or the zoo.
Adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities or seniors with dementia or Alzheimer's spend part of the day with the organization. Around 100 people a day come for socialization, exercise, and outings, but they also give back to the community.
So they make dog treats for the Beauties and Beats organization. They clean pews at a local church, and they also deliver Meals on Wheels, which is a fairly new, and they just enjoy that beyond belief. And it also provides us an opportunity to show them the dignity and respect that they deserve.
The day program also provides much needed respite for participants and caregivers. And of course, we are out here to help giving the basics. And what we're doing is we're collecting those dignity items. We're going to be doing that until 6:30 tonight.
And here's a look at what you can bring to help us out. Some of the biggest needs right now: bar soap, toilet paper, and woman hygiene products. A commitment to providing those everyday items is what prompted one volunteer to get involved.
As a woman, I cannot imagine not having hygiene products or simple things in life that we take for granted. So dignity is a huge part of this organization.
Another unique thing, they take volunteers as young as 6 years old, so giving back can really be a family affair.
You still have time to come out here and donate. We're going to be here till 6:30, Old Town Square in the heart of Wichita.
All right, come out and see us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are live in Old Town Square here in Wichita. Well, it is the end of the road for Alexis and Eddie. They're going to dip after the instant news at 4. Julie and I will be around for a while longer, but share some of your favorite memories, guys, of the trip.
I know Alexis always gasps when I say this, I loved Hoxie because I had so much fun. We went to the Elephant Bistro. The restaurant was absolutely amazing. You walk into this small town, it's a great community, and you don't expect to see this great restaurant. Alexis had to go shoot a story, so she didn't get to try out all the great food, but they had that black bean raspberry dip. I will never forget that.
I'm going to force people to make a second road trip to Hoxie because I need to check it out. But for me, everyone told me getting to meet the people in every single community, but specifically Ulysses stood out to me. We had so many welcoming people there that gave great conversations talking about their lives and how they welcome us into their homes every day. But also the little viewers are one of my favorite parts. There was a 7-year-old girl, specifically in Waukene. She came out to our morning show to see us, and she wants to get into news, so getting to talk with her was really special.
We have so many great memories, and it's great to hear, and we're going to keep the fun going for the rest of the day through 6:30, so stick around. We'll be back for KSN News at 5 in just 2 minutes.
Your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, sponsored by X Services.
Good evening. We are live in Old Town here in the Wichita area. This is the last stop of the KSN summer road trip. It has been 5 days of an incredible journey all across the state and meeting so many of you. Thank you guys for coming out. And guess who just came out to visit me? I have Samantha Boring, KSN Samantha Boring, and her pup Schroeder. Schroeder, come here. Schroeder. He's ready to hop in the water because it is definitely warm out here. How adorable is Schroeder? Absolutely a beautiful pup. We do have partly cloudy skies here over the downtown area. 2 rounds of thunderstorms to track, one tonight, another one tomorrow. How severe they could be and who will see the strongest coming up in your Storm Track 3 forecast. Your news starts now.
This is KSN News 3 at 5.
The KSN summer road trip quickly coming to a close. After driving more than 1,000 miles all over the state, our team now back in Wichita. KSN's Jeff Herndon, Julia Thatcher joining us live from Old Town Square. How's it going, guys?
I think I'm going to miss hearing that theme song.
I don't know. Well, I'm just going to keep playing. It's in my playlist.
Oh, there we go. Well, a lot of time to keep listening to it, of course. And Hannah said it. We are on our last stop of our KSN summer road trip.
Julie, this is the 4th time that we've done the big KSN summer road trip, but this is the first time that we've made a stop in Wichita.
Absolutely.
Where we start out. And we're going to be here for a while, till 6:30 tonight, so you still have time to come down, say hello. We'd love to talk to you. And more importantly, if you do come down, drop a donation for our Dignity Drive tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to share a little bit about some of the items that we need. We are looking for toiletries, soap, toothpaste, deodorant, as well as laundry detergent, toilet paper, a big need right now for Giving the Basics. It works with local schools and other nonprofits to provide health items not covered by government assistance. And right here, what you see, these are some of the barrels that we are asking for your help to fill.
Yeah, and they're easy. You can drive up here. We'll take your donation. We'll drop them in the bucket for you, so you don't even have to park if you don't want to.
Yeah, and Giving the Basics partners with a lot of different nonprofits to make sure that these items get to people who need them.
Let's run you through our final day of the KSN summer road trip. After waking up in Pratt this morning, we headed north to Stafford, great little town. It's the Stafford County Museum is there in Stafford. We talked to one man who's lived in the town for 87 years. He says he hasn't moved because, well, he likes the small town feel. After Stafford, we stopped in Newton. That's the home of the Railers. Julia, myself, Eddie Randall, and Alexis Padilla broadcast KSN News at noon live from downtown Newton. It is part of the Kansas Main Street program, which helps towns revitalize and preserve their downtown districts.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that, and they have a beautiful downtown area, so it's neat to think they've just been added, and then, you know, all of the spaces, and maybe not all, but a majority were filled, and so you like to see that.
And some of the friendliest people came out to talk to us today.
Yeah.
In Newton. It was great.
That's so true. Welcome back. We are on our last stop of our KSN Shield Summer Road Trip.
Now, yesterday we had to cut some of our coverage short because we were dealing with some severe weather, but one of the towns that we stopped in, love this town, Coldwater.
Yeah, the town grew by 2 people. A town of 700 grew by 2 people last year. The small town with a lot of character attracted that couple Northwest.
The transplant, by the way, now transforming old buildings in town. Eddie Randall shares the story of the Squirrel Inn.
2 hours southwest of Wichita sits the town of Coldwater, known for its lake and home to about 800 people.
It's a gem.
Its 139-year history is about to embark on a new era.
We wanted to move to the Midwest and have like a central location where we could just kind of travel, and we wanted to buy an unconventional building that we could restore.
So there'll be 2 beds.
Lisa Sowers and her partner,
Big cupboard with a TV inside of it.
My husband is a serious carpenter, construction person,
are turning this old building into a luxurious Airbnb.
It's called the Squirrel Inn because I'm super squirrely. I have to be doing stuff. We live upstairs.
They took on a similar task a few years back.
So the Squirrel Inn is kind of based off the same concept of like open living. We started researching online and we stumbled onto Coldwater, Kansas.
A needle in a haystack find.
We'd never been to the Midwest, and so we were heading to Las Vegas to watch Gonzaga play in the tournament. And he's like, yeah, let's just drive a little bit farther.
A realtor helped secure the building.
It's the old library.
The people sealed the deal.
Pulled up and they were having, you know, a food truck with barbecue, and people were just kind of like waving at us when we came to town, and we're like, people are so friendly. Like, this is wild, like waving back at people. And
that's the whole theme of the room, is mostly Gonzaga.
A place for old books is telling a new, unique story.
We have restored it into very quirky, very fun, but very vintage. We've lofted it upstairs, and then downstairs I've made my art studio. And
they're no longer visitors.
We stumbled onto an amazing building, but we really stumbled onto an amazing community.
Finding big love in a small town.
This one young boy came up to us and he said, "Hi, my name's Boyd. Are you guys good people?" And my husband looked at me and goes, "Yes, we are good people." And he said, "Okay, can I help you?" And so he helped us unload our U-Haul, and it was just like we looked at each other and it's like, we are in the right place.
Coldwater, once just a map dot.
Thank you. See you.
Now, a place called home.
Photojournalist Kevin Stieberl and I put that story together, and there's electrical work happening inside of the Squirrel Inn right now. Lisa tells us the plan is for them to open their doors either by the end of August or Labor Day weekend. Reporting in Coldwater, and here for you, I'm Eddie Randall, KSN News 3.
And a really cool thing about that story, I had a chance to meet her when we were out there, and they came from the Yakima Valley, and that is where I also moved from. So it was a really cool connection to be able to talk to her and then talk about what we love about Kansas. And, you know, she had said it, she knew she was in the right place, and I definitely related to that.
It's such a small world, isn't it?
It really is.
It's something else. Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, we are enjoying another gorgeous Kansas day.
We actually had pretty good weather for most of the KSN summer road trip, with the exception of yesterday evening. We were trying to wrap up our live shots over toward the Greensburg area, and we were placed under a severe thunderstorm warning because we had those strong winds that were coming in from the west. Well, strong winds. We're talking about large hail, maybe a tornado or two. We have to watch about 2 rounds of storms, one tonight, another one tomorrow. We will take a look at each of these rounds coming up next in your Storm Track 3 forecast, hour by hour.
Now your Storm Track 3 weather rate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Welcome back to the last stop of the 2023 KSN Summer Road Trip. It has been wonderful meeting so many of you from one side of the state line to the other, and we hope to do this for many more years to come. Taking a look out here in the Old Town area where we are located in the Wichita area. Outside of the Warren Theater, see all these different bins that we have for giving the basics. Please come down, donate some body soap, some conditioner, deodorant, laundry detergent, lotion, some feminine products. It is definitely going to go to help to serve others within our own community. And we have several bins out here. We want to fill these bins to the top. So please come on down to the Old Town area. We are going to be here until about 6:30 this evening. Let's get to the forecast because we have more storms to track. Come on down, grab a bottle of water. It is definitely a little on the warmer side, a little humid here, but we would love to see you live in the Old Town area in Wichita. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
We still need your help to fill some very basic needs. We're hosting a dignity drive for giving the basics. Here's a live look, and for about another hour, we'll be out in Old Town collecting hygiene items. Now, these are items you cannot get with government assistance funding and are often an overlooked need.
There's many volunteer organizations out there, but there's only a few that touch the community like this organization does. So we made it a family affair, and we stuck to it.
Now think about the things you use on a daily basis. Soap, shampoo, toothbrushes, toothpaste, those are the items we're looking for. So head to Old Town Square by 6:30 to drop off donations and say hi to the KSN team. Perfect weather for a sunshade out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, Jeff Herndon, and Julia Thatcher one last time from the KSN Summer Road Trip. Guys?
We absolutely could use that sunshade out here today, but we've had beautiful weather for all 22 stops of our KSN Summer Road Trip, and we are coming to an end.
We are, and before we end, we've been asked to share some of our memories, some of our favorite memories of this road trip so far, and there's so many of them, Lisa.
I was even telling meteorologist Ronell Williams earlier today when we were in the Newton area that, hey, you know, I really like those smoothies that we got in Nest City, so we went over to one of the other coffee shops there in Newton and grabbed a smoothie before we headed down here toward the Wichita area. But it wasn't just that. It was in Hoxie, talking to the folks that have the hot rod car, the 1969 Dodge Charger, jet black.
No, it was. He brought it too. You know, some of the memories I had. Where do you start? To me, what stands out was the hospitality from all of these communities. Thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to welcome us, to educate us, to talk to us about what's important in your community. And there are so many little memories along the way, so many interesting people that we talked to.
It's funny because you see that list of all 22 towns and your mind goes back to all of the conversations and the personalities and just how grateful we were to meet all of these people. So it truly was, it wouldn't have been the same road trip without you guys.
And also the pride in every single community, because you had people that were lined up saying, hey, we've got this in this town, we've got this in this town, and everybody was just so nice and welcoming. Thank you so much.
And we have more fun coming up on KSN News at 6. So be sure to tune in. We are going to be out here until 6:30, so bring by some items for our Dignity Drive. We'll see you tonight at 6.
Your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, sponsored by X Services.
Good evening. We have had some cool times across Kansas this week for the KSN Summer Road Trip, but now it is coming to a close. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. We are live in Old Town here in Wichita. We have come back to the Wichita Metro, and we would love to see you. Come on down to the Old Town area, and let's talk a little bit about weather, shall we? We do have partly cloudy skies over downtown Wichita, where that storm activity is going to go into the overnight as additional severe storms are possible this weekend. We'll tell you when that's going to happen in your Storm Track 3 forecast, live from the Old Town area in Wichita. Your news starts now.
This is KSN News 3 at 6.
The KSN Summer Road Trip coming to an end. Our team traveled more than 1,000 miles across our state over the last 5 days. Let's check in with Jeff Herndon and Julia Thatcher live in Old Town. How's it going, guys?
Well, welcome to our final stop of the big KSN Road Trip 2023. Here we are in Old Town Square in Wichita. It's a beautiful evening.
It really is. 21 stops ago. It's crazy to think now we're in Wichita.
Come so far.
We really have. And, you know, in order to end on a great note, we wanted to have an opportunity to give back to our community and a nonprofit that does so much for so many other nonprofits. So we are partnering with Giving the Basics for a Dignity Drive. So we have these barrels around Old Town right now, and we are asking for basic needs. So detergent, toilet paper, deodorant, bars of soap, things that government assistance doesn't cover. So we're asking for those donations.
By the way, thank you to all of you who have donated so far. You've been super generous tonight, and we can't thank you enough.
You have bags and boxes of toilet paper. It's been just really impressive to see the turnout. And we're going to show you a little bit about our road trip before we got to Wichita. So giving you a look back. After waking up in Pratt, we headed north to Stafford this morning, stopping at the Stafford County Museum. The town of 1,000, the second largest in the county. And like many Kansas counties, its economy thrives on ag and oil. Just outside of Stafford, Coldwater National Wildlife Refuge. With more than 22,000 acres, it's the largest inland salt marsh in the country. After going completely dry last summer, the area is starting to fill up.
The kind of rainfall we're getting right now is good in that it's coming incrementally. If you get it all at one time, similar to probably some of the farmers and all that, if you get it all at one time, it's not of any use. So if you get it over the seasons, over the fall, a little bit in the winter and the spring, summertime, it's all good.
Coldwater, the place to be in the fall. All the migratory birds make a pit stop as they head south for winter.
Now, after Stafford, we drove east about 70 miles to Newton, home of the Railers. It was incorporated as a city in 1872. A year after a Santa Fe depot was built, Newton celebrated its 150th birthday last year. Newton, a quick 30-minute drive from Wichita. In a sense, it's a bedroom community, and it is trying to take advantage of that. The city has multiple housing developments under construction.
Need's going to be there for even more housing, and so trying to be proactive and thinking ahead of time on what's going to be necessary is kind of what's going to be the cause for things like the Fox Ridge development.
He says once the projects are complete, the city will have room to grow its population by up to 10%. That's a significant number.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's funny to think we hit all of those stops that we mentioned today.
Yeah, that's right. That was today, wasn't it?
It was. It feels like that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's been a tremendous ride. We've learned so much, and we're not done talking about it.
No, we have a lot more coming up right after the break.
You're watching KSN News 3 with Jeff Herndon, Julia Thatcher, Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, and sports with Zach Martin.
Welcome back to Old Town, the final stop of the KSN Summer Road Trip.
And we've been to so many amazing places. Unfortunately, though, yesterday we had to cut some of our content short because we had those severe weather blowing in through the region while we were in Greensburg. So we want to give you a little bit of a look about what we saw.
So we stopped in one of my favorite towns. We're talking about Dodge City. You know the name, you know the city. Nicknamed Queen of the Cow Towns. It's known for its Wild West ways, and you can see the likes of old Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and Calamity. I like to talk like that. When I talk about Dodge City, I go into that deal there.
I've noticed that.
Inside the Gunfighters Wax Museum, but that's not all.
When the people come in, they are expecting to see I guess, one type of thing and end up seeing many others. We do have a werewolf, and we do have a severed head of Murrieta, and so there are always a few surprises when you see the Wax Museum.
Well, there's a lot to see, as you just heard. The Wax Museum is open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. It's located in the same building as the Kansas Teachers Hall of Fame. Greensburg, known for the 2007 tornado that destroyed 95% of the town. But there's a whole lot more to the city. You can see that in the Kiowa County Museum.
At one time, there were over 40,000 head of buffalo in Kiowa County, and so there were a lot of history. There's a lot of artifacts still around from that time that you can come in and look at and even touch, and if you'd like to.
That museum also houses Greenberg's original soda fountain.
So when we built the Kiowa County Museum, we decided to have a living history part of the museum. So that way people could come in and not only see some of the things that we have in our museum, but actually experience some of the things that we offer here in Kiowa County.
One man worked at the soda fountain for more than 50 years. He's retired now, but he visits often. We'll be right back.
Track 3 weather rate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Welcome back on this pleasant Friday evening. The winds are light. We don't have to worry about too strong of a wind flow, but as those winds are coming in from the south, this is going to help to feed more storm development, not only tonight, but also tomorrow night. So depending on where you live across Kansas, please be weather aware. We are live in the Old Town area outside of the Warren Theater with our Dignity Drive. So if you have some items like toilet paper, shampoo, feminine products, maybe some wipes, some toothpaste, please come on down to the Old Town area. We would love to see you because this is how we are ending our KSN summer road trip. It has been a blast going across the entire Sunflower State with my buddies here at KSN. Let's get to the weather and take a look at how things are shaping up this evening. Early next week into the 90s, but then after that, temperatures are expected to fall into the middle and upper 80s by the middle of next week. Keep it here. Sports is next.
Chastity Harris is today's winner of a KSN umbrella. If you want to win an umbrella, just go to the weather page of KSN.com to find out how to enter. Let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, Jeff Herndon, and Julia Thatcher one last time. Guys.
Okay, this is it. Final live shot of the KSN summer road trip. We're finishing things off here in Old Town and Old Town Square, getting ready to wrap it up. We've been asked to share a few memories. And first of all, it was a tremendous trip. All of the communities, thank you so much. One specific memory that stands out, the group of women in Dighton, Kansas. They call themselves the Senior Citizens. I sat down at the picnic table. We had a chat. And ladies, I promise, they filed some grievances with us. We've got to do better, and I'm going to work on that. You know what I'm talking about. So.
And I tried to pay you $5 to go in the bounce house in Scott City, and you still wouldn't do it. No. Other people were coming up to me, and they were like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? I'm like, no, he's not going to do it. But checking out the cars in Hill City, that was another great memory for me.
Beautiful cars, absolutely. I have two. I mentioned in the 5 o'clock, the just really close conversations we were able to have with people. That was so special. But I'm going to give you and leave you with a second funny one. My favorite part of road trip, I had a few kids come over and they would say, are you Lisa Teachman? And their mom would say, no, that's not Lisa. Don't lie to these children, I am Lisa. It was the highlight of my career, so it was fun to be Lisa just for a minute.
Well, and it was great talking to so many little kids because there is just something about being in Kansas and how our weather really sparks that interest. So I think we're going to have several future meteorologists out of the group, even some of the group that we had here in Wichita today.
I want to thank our producer, Ashley Galloway, who put this thing together. She did a tremendous job, but most of all, I want to thank all of the communities who welcomed us into their towns. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.
This year's KSN summer road trip with a big finish today. The day started off in Pratt before heading to the town of Stafford. One of the great places to see in the area is the Quivira National Wildlife Refuge. It covers more than 22,000 acres, making it the largest inland salt marsh in the U.S. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of water to make it suitable for the wildlife that rely on it.
Our fall migration is big. Starting in about late August through September, we get all the birds that are coming down, the waterfowl, the sandhill cranes, the whooping cranes. And so that is a big time of year for us. Need to have lots of water out there, at least in the habitat for that. And they not only need the water, we've got to have water in the right places. It can't just be, like a flooded lake.
In addition to the birds, Quivira is a great place to see turtles, snakes, bees, and butterflies. From Stafford, it was on to Newton, about an hour to the east. Our crew spent the noon hour there and said hello to the residents who came out to see the live shots for KSN News at noon. And then it was a quick half-hour drive to Wichita, finishing off the road trip in style in Old Town for live shots at 5 and 6. We also collected toothbrushes and soap and other personal supplies for our Dignity Drive. More about that later in the show. That is it for this year's KSN Summer Road Trip. If you missed any of the stories or would just like to see them again, all you have to do is visit our website. That's ksn.com.